Most people think if you've got a bigger firm, then that means you've got a better firm. And actually investments, I believe it's just the opposite. When you look at most of the really good advisors over the years, Warren Buffett, for example, he really built an incredible track record when he was small. As his fund got larger, it became much more difficult for him to post good numbers. Likewise, Peter Lynch with the Magellan Fund, he had phenomenal numbers when he was small, and once he got bigger, his numbers started to look more and more like an index fund. And so, yeah, size is really important. I would challenge you, for example, to tell me a manager who is managing a large amount of money and who has exceptional performance. They virtually don't exist. Most of your good performance comes from your smaller managers. And the reason is they're just a lot more nimble. They can move. And kind of an example that someone told me one time was that if you were trying to turn around a speedboat in a lake, it's a whole lot easier than turning around the Queen Mary in a lake. And that's kind of how it is with investments. Unless you can get in and out of the securities easily, you're kind of stuck. And the bigger you are, the more you start to look like an index fund. And that's why so many of the large institutions' numbers mirror index funds. David Swenson, the chief investment officer for Yale, for their endowment, said that size is the enemy of performance. And I completely agree with that. If we had this conversation a year ago, and you were arguing that bigger is better, you'd be arguing that AIG, Citigroup, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, Merrill Lynch, Washington Mutual, all of these huge institutions were better because they were bigger. Well, now, today, a couple years later, most of those institutions don't exist anymore. And they either don't exist or they exist in a very dramatically different form. And so, did size help them? No, size brought them down. But as far as who's holding your money, then I believe you want a larger firm, like a Charles Schwab or a Fidelity or some large institution holding your money. And the reason is because when it's there, it's insured and they're responsible for it. So the ideal situation is you've got your manager managing your money, you've got the money held at a large institution where it's fully insured, and then you, the client, are partner with those two institutions.